Good morning students, welcome back to the social class. See, in our previous class, you know very well, we have started the discussion about the Indian foreign policy. So, as we have started the lesson Indian foreign policy, so in our previous video itself, I have always said to you what do you mean by Indian foreign policy, and at the same time we have discussed some of the important aims and objectives of the Indian foreign policy. So, as we have successfully discussed about the aims and objectives of the Indian foreign policy, next what we need to discuss from this lesson is, listen carefully, it is very important. The world is cruel. We wanted to hoist the flag of peace everywhere, but we were cheated. See, world is very cruel. So, even though world is cruel, no, we tried our level best to hoist the flag of peace everywhere. But the thing is, we are cheated. So, especially when it comes to the India. So, India being a peace-loving country, we tried our level best to see that almost all over the world, the peace should be established. So, everything can be done with the help of love and peace. So, it is not necessary for us to engage in the revolutionary activities. So, it is possible for us to win the hearts of the people only with the help of love and peace also. Okay. Uttered in surprise by then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru after the invasion of China into India. Now you see, during that time, the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. So what he said, these are the words of Jawaharlal Nehru itself. So why Jawaharlal Nehru said this one means, we tried our level best to establish the love and peace all over the world, even though the China invaded over India. So as the China invaded over India, no, we were cheated. So the China cheated to us. So that is well known to everyone. And now also you might be heard very well. Now also during this pandemic also, China is trying to wage the war against India. So in the borders of India and China, you might have seen, you might have heard. So there is a very dangerous situation, and nobody knows when the war is about to broke out between India and China also. Okay. See, in a radio speech on September 7, 1946. So in 1946. Jawaharlal Nehru, what it means, he spoke in the radio. Jawaharlal Nehru outlined the foreign policy of India for the first time to the general public. So that time he spoke with the general public saying that we are going to adopt this type of the Indian foreign policy. And he addressed the people of India saying that now onwards we are going to adopt the foreign policy of India in this way. See, the speech gave an indication of a foreign relationship India is going to foster with the countries like America, Russia and China. So, the speech what he done now during 1946 through the mass media like radio, he said very clearly, now onwards how we are going to have the relationship between the countries like Russia, America, China and whatever the neighboring countries are there, no, with them how we are going to have our relationship. So related to that only he spoke about in that speech. Okay. Jawaharlal Nehru managed the foreign policies of India as an external affairs minister apart from being the prime minister as well. So during that time, Jawaharlal Nehru, he was not only the prime minister of India, at the same time he was the external minister of India also. He managed the foreign policy of India. So, as a external minister and as well as the Prime Minister of India. So, the first Prime Minister of India, who is none other than Jawaharlal Nehru, so he adopted the foreign policy. So, hence, we are going to call this foreign policy as the Nehru's foreign policy. So, hence, many times the foreign policy of India is also called as foreign policy of Nehru. Listen carefully, why it is going to be called as the Nehru foreign policy of India means, during that time, no, he was not only the Prime Minister of India, apart from the Prime Minister, no, he was the External Minister of India also. So as he was the External Minister of India, so he played a very, very vital role in deciding the foreign policy of India. The credit goes to Jawaharlal Nehru only related to the Indian foreign policy. For that reason only, we are going to call the foreign policy in the name of Nehru's policy. Okay. Various international and national issues have influenced the foreign policy of India. See now, usually when we are adopting the foreign policy of India, many of the issues, international and national issues are influenced over the Indian foreign policy. Okay, so issues like national interest, geographical interest, political situation, economic interest, military issues, public opinion, international situation and many other issues have influenced and shaped the foreign policy. See, keeping all these things in mind, so foreign during that time the Prime Minister of India and the External Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, framed the foreign policy for India. For that reason, this foreign policy is going to be called in the name of Jawaharlal Nehru's foreign policy. Okay, some of the basic aspects of this India's foreign policy. So we have discussed about the aims and objectives in the previous class. So today we are going to discuss about the basic aspects of India's foreign policy. So when we are supposed to discuss about the basic aspects of the Indian foreign policy, no, first we are going to discuss about the Panchasila principles. What do you mean by Panchasila principles? See, it is very simple. So once I am going to read out this one, listen carefully and we are going to have a discussion in detail related to this. Though countries have their own social, economical, political and cultural systems, they have always strived to foster healthy relationship with other countries. Based on the similar lines, in 1954, both India and China accepted Panchasila principles to foster their international relationship. Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India and Zhou Enlai was the Prime Minister of China. See, actually each and every country, no, they will be having their own customs, their own traditions, their own economical situations or political situations, whatever it is. So even though they are having their various varieties, they tried their level best to develop a very good relationship with other countries. So whatever the differences we are going to have within our country, we are not going to consider that one important. So here we tried our level best to develop a very good understanding, a relationship with other countries. That is very important. So as a result, no, in 1954, Panchasila principles were signed between India and China. So India, during that time, the Prime Minister of India was Jawaharlal Nehru and the Prime Minister of China was Zhou Enlai. So both of them signed the principle. So according to that principle, no, 5 important things are there which both the countries were supposed to follow. First one is respecting each other's sovereignty and regional interest. See, either it is China or it is India. Both are supposed to respect each other's sovereignty. Sovereignty in the sense independence. Okay. And at the same time, the regional interest. See, when it comes to the India, it is also one of a huge country. And we come across different regions in India. And number of differences are also going to be seen in the regions. So that regions are not supposed to become the matter for the other countries. Okay. For example, you see, if I am going to give an example, say, if I am going to take the example of just North India and South India, in North India and South India, many of the differences are going to be seen in our country. So, whatever the differences we are going to find now, we are only having the authority over that. And China is not at all having any right to interfere in the internal matters of India. Okay. And in the same time, we are also, in the sense India is also doesn't have any right to interfere in the internal matters of China. So their regional interest is left to them. and our regional interests are left to them, left to us. Okay, so no one is having right to what we can say means interfere in others matter, and non-invasion of each other. See, this is the second important thing what we accepted during the Panchashila principle. See, China is also independent country. India is also one of the independent country. As both are independent, both doesn't have right to invade over others. Either India is supposed to invade over China, or China is supposed to invade over India. So the agreement was taken place, even though you know very well, in 1960 once again China invaded over India. So that is different, we are going to discuss later. But the agreement was either India was supposed to invade over China, or China was supposed to invade over India. But sometimes it happens. Next you see, non-interference in each other's internal issues. Now you see, both the countries being independent and sovereignty countries, these countries are not at all supposed to interfere in the internal matters of the others. Now you see, when it comes to the India, in India we come across number of differences. So we are going to come across number of religions, caste system, so social variations, and many other things are going to be seen in our country. So whatever the differences we are going to see in our country, no, that is left to us. Okay, and China doesn't have any right to interfere in the internal matters of or internal issues of India. See, today Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India. So it is our well and wish. Okay, we made Narendra Modi as our Prime Minister of India. So as we have declared Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India, China doesn't have any right to interfere in this matter. Okay, and at the same time, when China is going to make someone as the President or Prime Minister of China, we won't have any right to question that one, or we won't have any right to interfere in the internal matters of China. So this was the third agreement which took place between India and China through the Panchashila principles. And next you see, mutual cooperation and respect. See, both are independent and both are well developed countries. It is better that both are supposed to respect each other. Okay, see, respect is one of the what we can say means a special thing. When we are going to give the respect, at the same time we can expect the respect from others. Okay, so if we won't give the respect, then we won't have any right to expect the respect from others. So like that only, cooperation. See, when we are existing, coexisting is there, no? So it is compulsory for us to cooperate with each other, and we need to respect with each other. Then only it is possible for us to exist both without any difficulty. And finally, peaceful existence. See, peaceful existence in the sense, once again I said, you know, in the beginning itself, India being a peace-loving country, India never provoked the revolutionary activities. So India tried always its level best to overcome or solve the problems with love and peace. Okay, so these are some of the agreements which took place between India and China with the help of Panchashila principles. Okay, so in the next module, no, we are going to discuss about the others. Maybe it is the non-aligned movement or disarmament or some other things we are going to discuss in the next module. Okay, so today's homework, you do one thing. Under the Panchashila principles, so what are the agreements took place between India and China, you just make a note of it. Okay, so with this we are going to conclude our class here today here itself, and tomorrow we are going to continue. Thank you.